Hi everyone, so last year on my Facebook page I made several of these fabric covered letters. You see, I had lots of requests to show you how to make these, so thought I would finally get my act together and make a video for you showing you exactly how to do it. As you can see, the backs and the fronts are padded slightly. I don't know if you can really tell that in here. And then if you want to, there's an option to put a picture hook on the back so you can hang it onto the bedroom door. And then yeah, that's it basically. So here's the tutorial. I hope you like it, and if you've got any questions, let me know. Okay, so what do you need to do this? You need a cardboard letter. These ones are about 8 inches high by about 1 inch wide. They are just purchased online. Then you need the fabric that you're going to use to cover the letter with, and either a contrasting fabric to go around the outside or the same fabric, that's up to you. You then need some wadding. This is just to make it padded at the front so it looks quite pretty. Glue sticks and a glue gun, and either a rotary cutter with the ruler and the mat, or you can use scissors and a tape measure, whichever you prefer. I prefer the rotary cutter just because it's faster. Put a bit of glue on here and put your wadding on top. Like so. On top of there, trim around it, and that's it. Nothing fancy. I have put my letter onto the fabric that I want and cut around it, making sure that I've got roughly 1/2 inch the whole way around to overlap. Lay that down, right side down, and then you're going to put your fabric letter, wadding side down, onto there, and turn this around. Obviously I've got a line on my fabric, so I want to try and keep the lines straight. I don't really want them to be wonky, so I'm going to line that up along the blue line. I'm just going to run a small amount of the glue along the edge there, tip my letter like that, and push. Remember, it is a glue gun, it is hot, you will burn yourself if you're not careful, and it does hurt. Turn it around. Now you're going to want to pull this so it's nice and tight from under there. You don't want it to be all baggy. Let's see. Get that to line up nicely. Then you're literally going to run a little bit on that one, a little bit on that one. On my E, the bottom and the top sticks out further than the middle one. So just doing the outside edges first. So you can see that's what the front looks like at the moment. Next, I'm going to glue the top, and just the same thing, push that down and turn it around, tuck that wadding in, and a bit more glue, make sure it's nice and taut, and push it down. See, nice and easy. So that's what the front is looking like at the moment. Don't worry that the corners aren't stuck yet. We'll get around to those in a minute. Then we're going to get our scissors. And remember, we want approximately 1/2 inch away from the edge. So I'm just going to trim 1/2 inch to there. And approximately, I don't know if you can see that very well, but 1/2 inch in there. The same on the other side, and the same at the top. Just snip out that centre bit, and the same on that bit. Right, next we're going to now glue down the centerpiece. So again, you can see I've pulled that a little bit taut. I'm pushing down with my left hand. Just glue across there and stick it down. Obviously, cut that off, that's a bit much there. Right, now in order to do the corners, what I'm going to do, just tuck the wadding in, make sure it's not sticking out. and you can see if I push the fabric against it, I can see how close I am. If I just snip into here, I don't want to go all the way. You can see, just push that wadding in. You can see I'm not completely all the way in there. I've left that sort of 1/2 centimetre away from the corner, and the same in here, just going in that way. Right. So now what we're going to do is you're going to pull that bit taut. You're going to get your glue gun in there, a little bit of glue along there, and then push that inwards like that. Same in this corner, just going in. Oh, I hope I'm not too close to the camera there. And in. You're going to, bit of glue in there, pull that into there. So now when we turn it over, you can see the E is starting to take place. You can see I pulled a tiny bit taut there really, but hopefully we'll be able to fix that. It's made my line go a little bit wonky. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that off and just do that again. I don't like that. So a little bit more glue, push it down, not pulling so tight. That really only matters when you've got a stripe, because obviously if you pull too tight when you've got a stripe, they will go wavy and they just don't look so good. So now for the other bits. Push that down, turn around. So I hope you can see all this. It's a little bit hard to do this in front of the camera. I'm just going around the edges now. And last but not least, this one. Okay, so you can see that is the front. Now, don't worry too much about these corners, because when we go to put the trim, you're going to cover up those. The only ones I do stick down a little bit around is all of these ones here on the edges where there is no glue. And just literally pull that back slightly, put a tiny bit of glue and pull them over. And just because I now don't like bulk of fabric to be under the trim when I put it on, I also am going to just go around, now that I've done that, and snip off this bits. And so that's just to get rid of the bulk really. Did I glue that one? Put a little bit more glue on that one. Okay. Oh, missed those corners there. Okay, you can see that is your E as it stands. Now basically you need to do the exact same thing to the back. Okay, so next I need to cut the strip that goes around the outside edge. Now it's up to you whether you want to use a contrasting fabric, so of course I've used the stripes and I'm actually now going to use this white to go around the outside, or whether you just want to use the same fabric. It's entirely up to you. You're going to need to cut them approximately 2¼ inches wide, and the other thing to remember is, depending on whether you want to join the fabric as you go along, you can measure the whole way around your letter so you know exactly how much you need to cut. I know that my letter works out at approximately 40 inches, I think it was, the whole way around. And this is doubled over, this fabric, so I've got 23 inches across, so doubled, that's going to be obviously 46. I'm using a rotary cutter and a mat. You can just hand cut this though, you don't have to do that. I much prefer it this way because it's quick and it's easy, and I just need the one strip for mine. The next thing that you're going to need to do is to open this up, and then your letters are approximately 1 inch wide. So what you do is fold in this edge and press this down with your iron, and you're going to do the same on that side. I just eyeball it. I know that that's roughly 1 inch. So yeah, you're going to do that with your whole strip and iron it down. So I'm going to go and do that now. Okay, next. Here is the strip that we just ironed and got ready for this. What you're going to do, you're going to put your letter on its side. I'm going to line it up across the back so you can see that is what this one is going to look like. To start off, I'm going to flip that back and put a small bit of glue down each edge and lay that on top. Being careful that you leave, a couple of inches for the overflaps, that when you come back round it's easier to attach them together. I'm going to flip that backwards, and away we go. I'm going to just keep running small sections of glue there and there. Don't do too much in one go, otherwise the glue is going to dry before you've managed to get round to it. I'll go around here. I usually use thicker fabric than this so that you have a nicer sort of fluffier edge to this, but this is actually for someone who picked the fabric. You get to the end, you can see I've got sort of 1.5 inches, 2 inches of each piece, and they overlap each other. What you want to do is you want to get the piece that's going to go on the top, and you're going to put a little bit of glue just on the inside here, and then you're going to fold it over so that it sticks to itself on that side. So it doesn't have to be a lot, it's just enough to make it a stiff edge. So put that on there. Fold it over and push it down. Now, what you're going to do is you want to pull this bit as tight as you can. You're going to pull the bottom piece as tight as you can and literally just going to stick a tiny bit of glue there and stick that down to there. You see these bits here are going to tuck under. If I get my scissors here. Going to tuck in there. It's going to tuck in there. And then it's going to add a little piece of glue inside there and stick that down and do the same on this side. Put that in there and stick that down. The reason you need to make sure it's nice and tight is you don't want to end up with it bagging or any overlap. Knocked the camera, sorry. You can see that's the front. And then a tiny bit of glue just on the inside of there. Stick that down. And there you have it. One fabric covered cardboard letter. Now what I've also got is some little picture hooks that you can just screw into the back so that you can hang them onto the wall or sit them on a shelf or whatever you really want to do with them. There's also some that I do where I've got a little wooden heart or star or whatever shape and then stick that in this corner and it would have like on it, it would have E is for Edward, just with some little stampers so you can put it on their bedroom door as well. I hope you like them. If you've got any questions, let me know.